people all over India, especially in Maharashtra, are worshipping Lord Ganapati with great devotion, often, and with many, many rituals. Now, of course, the Vedas explain how to worship Lord Ganesh and why. There are people who worship him in the mode of ignorance. People worship him in the mode of passion. People worship him in the mode of goodness. And people also worship him on a transcendental platform. And you will find that they have different type of worship. And they worship him for a different purpose. I remember when I first came to India, I was passing through Old Delhi, and there was a Ganesh temple. And I saw this whole family of about 30 people. And they were just worshiping the Murti of Ganesh with such enthusiasm. And they had such longing in their eyes. So I was thinking, my God, these people are really, really saintly people. I should learn something from them. So I waited about 1 hour while their puja was going on, and I was being very much impressed. And I was thinking, such devotion. I want to find out how to be like this. So afterward, I spoke to them. They spoke very nice English. I said, can you tell me about this puja that you are performing? Tell me, what is your philosophical feelings and thinking when you are performing this puja? And the man said, he said, I just expanded my business, and the whole family is coming together to pray to him to make our business prosperous. I said, is that all? He said, what more is there than that? He said, if your business is prosperous, everything else follows. And then I decided that I should go on looking for my spiritual master. So Krishna says in Gita, Kamaistha istha hritya jnana prapadyante nyadevata tam tamivaitikante yasiddhatad bhava bhavata. If that's what you want from Ganesh, that's what he will give you. Eventually he will give it. But Krishna says that those who are very small-minded and very unfortunate, they worship the devatas for material benedictions. Because such benedictions are limited and temporary. Ultimately, they cause frustration and bondage. Whatever the demigods give you to satisfy your senses, ultimately, they are giving you problems. Because it is temporary. To the degree you attain things in this world, to that degree you become attached to those things, and when they are taken away, and they will be, either today or tomorrow, there is frustration, there is sorrow. All your material attachments culminate in death. Because we are following in the footsteps of the Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava sampradaya, and we are also, on behalf of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, we are presenting the revealed truths of the essence of the Vedas as it has been handed down by great acharyas since time immemorial. We would like to offer our glorification to Lord Ganesh according to the principle of pure devotional service. You see, the birthday of a great soul is honored not for what we can get from him, but what we could give to him. Correct? Just like on somebody's birthday, do you come and say, what gift have you brought for me? Or do you bring a gift and say, I'm giving you this, but I want this in exchange? Is that the way you celebrate a person's birthday? How many do like this? On a person's birthday, you should be giving. You shouldn't expect anything in return. Just give. This is love. We should not do business with these great personalities. Actual worship is not business. It is an expression of love. Prahlad Maharaj, Lord Nrsingadev came just to protect him, to destroy Hiranyakashipu. And after Nrsingadev did like this, he asked Prahlad, now ask any benediction from me. And Prahlad said, my Lord, why do you ask me to ask a benediction? Do you think I'm a businessman? Maybe you may be a businessman amongst other people. But Prahlad said, I am not doing business with you. I am your devotee. A devotee does not do business with his Lord. If I'm giving you something and expecting something in return, that means business. Love means unconditional. So therefore, let us glorify the unconditional love of Lord Ganesh. What he has contributed to the world, we should be grateful for that. And what he could really give us, we should understand. In other words, when you go to a rich man, do you ask him for 10 paisa? Huh? When you go to a rich man, you can get a lot. But most of all, you should be going, and you should be going to please him. So, Lord Ganesh, it is described that he was living in Badrikashram on the bank of the river Saraswati, and he had a beautiful cave. If you go to Badrinath, you will see his cave. It is at about a 10-minute walk from the cave of Sri Vedavyas. And when Vedavyas was writing the Mahabharata, the Srimad Bhagavat, and various of the other Vedic literatures, Vedavyas, in the seclusion of his own cave, was speaking what the Lord in his heart was inspiring him to speak. He was a Shaktavesh who was perfectly in tune with the Lord in the heart. And as he spoke, Lord Ganesh was sitting in his cave and he was writing. So factually, the very basis of our spiritual lives is by the mercy of Lord Ganesh, because he has written the Vedas. And without the Vedas, there would be no standard of how to live in devotion to God. All the great acharyas, their authority is based on how much they are perfectly repeating the conclusions of the Vedas. When the great acharyas speak, they confirm everything as truth by citing the passages of the Vedas. We have no means of understanding how to approach God without the scriptures of the world. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one who disregards the rules and regulations of the scriptures, that person is doomed to suffering and bondage in his life. So how glorious of a debt that we owe Lord Ganesh, that he has written the Vedas and shown us the path by which we can evolve from our conditioned state of bondage to a liberated state of pure devotion. Krishna says in Gita, Vedaishcha sarvaraham eva vedyo vedantakrit veda vedeva chaham. Very important to understand this verse. Krishna says, I am the compiler of the Vedas, and by all the Vedas I am to be known. So therefore we can understand through the scripture that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Matta parataram nanyat kinchirasti dhananjayat mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Krishna says there is no truth superior to me. Everything is resting upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So therefore, this very, very great personality is the empowered representative, being perfectly utilized as the instrument in the hands of the Lord to write his very words and to teach us how to surrender to Krishna. What does Ganesh write in his Bhagavad Gita? Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. He is writing that Krishna, the Lord of all lords, is saying, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me. And we are reading his writing. And this is what he is explaining to us. So this is the glory. We should see these glorious demigods in such exalted positions, that they are pure devotees of the Lord, who are department heads acting on behalf of the Lord to give all of us the opportunity to live within this world happily and ultimately achieve the ultimate goal of life. Srila Rupa Goswami explains that in the Vedas it is explained that Lord Ganesh especially is worshipped to remove impediments on one's path in life. Therefore, he explains that a devotee can pray to Lord Ganesh to remove his impediments in his path of devotion to Krishna. Om Ganeshpate Namaha. In fact, Gaudiya Vaishnavas oftentimes, before they go on the altar of the Lord, they offer their obeisances to Lord Ganesh. And oftentimes in Gaudiya Vaishnava temples and in Narayan temples all around, you see a little murti of Ganesh over the altar. Because the reason we cannot worship the Lord with love is there are so many impediments in our hearts. Those impediments are essentially the tendency to commit offenses to the Lord and His devotees. So therefore, if such a great demigod can help us remove impediments, let us ask Him, remove these impediments that are keeping me from being able to show love to your own Master, Lord Hari. This is the same way we approach the spiritual master. This is the same way we approach the great saints. Please remove impediments from my heart so that pure love of God can manifest. And of course, we worship those great souls who by their example show complete faith and complete devotion to the Lord.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.